One of the most critical aspects of building a startup is having a great team. And building a team has been one of those journeys for me that has been very fulfilling. Just think about it. When you start something from scratch, you have an idea, perhaps a little bit of work that has been put in, but then you have very limited resources in the form of talent, in the form of money, and in the form of exposure. And in that situation, when you're very young, when you're untested, you don't know what is going to happen, you don't know if your idea will ever work out, you don't know if you're ever going to get enough luck by your side to build something. And at that time, it is your responsibility to start building a team. You need a team because you need expertise that you don't have. You need more people working for the same amount of time, because as a person or a few people, there is only so much you can do. And of course, when someone joins a startup, especially during the early stages, they take on a lot of risks themselves. And at the same time, that risk is not just financial in nature, but that risk is in terms of their careers as well, in terms of opportunity costs. So one of my earliest team members who joined Xena was Izu, and Izu was based in India. And I got connected with him through another person who was supposed to join me in the very beginning. And in the beginning phases, Izu had been working with another startup that didn't work out, and he chose to join Xena, and he has been with us ever since. For years, he is solely responsible for me having a very strong team back in India. He was involved in all the recruitment processes. He was involved in making sure that every team member who joined felt a strong sense of being part of a team, and of course overcome all the growing pains that happens as a team, because you hire more people, there are more personalities involved, there are more needs, requirements, and everyone has things happening in their own lives which inevitably affects work as well. And Izu has done a really good job in molding it. Without him, I would be really surprised if Xena is able to reach the place that it has. I got lucky. I've been very fortunate to have an ecosystem in place in India, and close collaborations with universities like CUSAT, which is a very well-renowned university, through which I've been able to onboard a lot of my team members who have done excellent work for me as well. And that emphasis of, you're not just hiring people, you're not just paying them, you're not just giving them work. You are someone who is also responsible to motivate them to do not just what they're supposed to do, but to encourage them to go above and beyond. Just do that little extra, especially in a startup environment where, despite all the nebulous uncertainties, despite the fact that 99.9% of the startups fail, despite all of this, they will need to put themselves together, motivate everyone around them, and push forward with new ideas, with new customers, and adapt with the changes in the market, changes in the competition, and changes in the way that things are done. And I think I've been very fortunate to be in a place where I have a team that is able to do that. And I think every startup deserves it. In pitch decks, people often say that you need to put your team as a very first slide. And I understand why that is. But I think one thing that people often miss out on, and probably it's an unpopular opinion, is that a team is judged by the background, in what logos or what companies they have worked in the past, which schools or colleges they attended to. I think that is a very wrong way of judging the credibility and the effectiveness of a team. The effectiveness of a team is not just these individual people, but how they work in tandem, how they work combined. And to work in a startup, it requires a very, very different set of skill sets. That is very different from working in a corporate environment as well. And so, judging a team by whether they went to Harvard, MIT, or Stanford, may not be the best way to see how good a team performs or has been able to perform. I think a team should be judged by how far the startup has grown, what traction it has gotten, how it has been able to maintain competitive advantage, and how it has been able to adapt with the constant changes in the market in which it operates. And I think, I may be biased over here, that Xena and my team has done a fantastic job in ensuring that we have been always one step ahead, that we have been able to overcome all the changes in the environment, in the world, and have been able to provide incredible amount of value to our customers, to our shareholders as well. And I think that is how important a team is in the startup. As a founder, of course, the buck stops with you. Everyone on the outside looks at you to decide how the potential of a startup, but I think they really need to look at the team and how long or how far they have come in building what is already in the market right now. And like I said, I've been very fortunate, and it's just one of those things that is not often talked about, where I feel that none of my investors have asked me, hey, how does the team work together? Hey, can I join in one of your stand up calls? I think just doing that will provide such amazing insights into how a team works, how the leadership works, and how cohesive they are able to get work done together. And I think that that matters a lot, if not the most, in a startup environment.